doing well. Very brief today. I want you to think about Philippians chapter 4 and verse 11. Paul is talking about the care that the Philippian church has been able to show him, and he's saying he's not complaining, basically, because he had learned something. He wasn't in any way trying to undermine or demean their motives, or no, understanding they probably hadn't had the opportunity at that point. But he says, I've learned something. God has taught me something. And this is something that God had taught him over time. And we can only imagine all the circumstance that the Apostle Paul went through. He learned quite a few lessons, which tells us something about life. The situations of life are there for the distinct reason of maturing us. That's why we trust God in it. In James chapter 1 and verse 3, patience has a maturing work, and we trust God in it. But Paul says, look, it says in the King James Version, in the state that I am in, I have learned to be content. Actually, you could say it like this: in that which I am. It just basic rough Greek with the preposition in the realm or the sphere that I am. In that which I am, I have learned to be self-sufficient or have self-control. Now I want you to think about that for a moment. How do we learn self-control? How do you teach a grandchild, for example? How do you potty train them? It doesn't happen overnight. They reach a point where they don't like the feeling of having a wet diaper, or I'll let your imagination tell you what else. And eventually you begin the process of taking them to a little potty chair, and that's where they begin this process of maturing to a point where they themselves learn how to control that area. Now, how do we learn? We go through things. Pain is part of the process, suffering, trouble, situations, whatever you want to call it. These minor bumps in life, some major dips, all of those are training opportunities for us, getting us to a point where, we actually have a sense of self-control in that situation. Paul said, I had to learn this. Now, if that was the Apostle Paul, and he was the author of the majority of the New Testament, where do you think that leaves us? Sometimes, Sue and I sit back and think about all the things that have gone on or are going on, and why at times it can just be almost hilarious. I mean, you can't do anything but laugh. But in all of that, what is God doing? He's teaching us self-control, to learn to trust him, to realize that he is able, that it's not about you and I and our ability to achieve a certain goal or accomplish a task. Our equation, the thing that we bring to this equation, is our faith. God's not going to say, man, you are a hard worker. He's going to say you're a good and faithful servant. That doesn't mean you didn't work. It just means that you worked faithfully. In other words, that was the mode or method of your work. There's much in life that is beyond our grasp or our ability. But that does not mean that God isn't capable nor willing. He's teaching us. He's saying, hey, it's time for you to learn. I want to teach you another level of faith maturity. That in which I am, to be self-sufficient. What is it that in which I am today? Take that personally. What is it that you are in today? To be self-sufficient. That's God's purpose in our life. That we would be self-sufficient, meaning that we would have such a trust and faith in him that life doesn't rule us. We rule over life. We have a crown of faith. We're victorious in James 1:12. We didn't back down and we didn't compromise because things were tough. We went on and we trusted God. We didn't have to see everything happen. We just simply trusted God. A God who is capable, a God who is able, a God who loves to honor those people that trust him. Till next time, friends, God bless you.